begins the craziness of high school basketball. These two programs have been the cream of the crop in the Girls City League here in Boston. Always fun to see the future of Boston basketball. Boy going to work. Somehow gets it to go, and the foul. Jordan off the up fake.
That's the kind of control finish you want to have.
Aiden way downtown.
Big play, follow up that miss.
The Tech Boston Bears have won back-to-back championship in 2019. Hello, Boston, and welcome to New Mission High School in Hyde Park as we bring you a Boston North rivalry in the girls' side of the BPS High School basketball, as tonight the Brighton Bengals will be taking on the New Mission Titans. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, as always, Alan Platt. And Alan, the New Mission Titans, always very good in the Boston City League and also off to a good start. They started off actually 5-0, got their first loss last night, so they're right on schedule as being one of the best teams in the Boston City League.
Yeah, one of those strange quirks in the schedule. They play like three days in a row.
That's
it's
right.
This is the third of 3 straight games. So, I mean, they're young, high school athletes. That physically
Right.
doesn't bother them. So, it's in a strange kind of way. It's sort of fun. But you mentioned their success. Started out 5-0. They're a senior-laden team. They got like 7 seniors.
That's right.
And they all play pivotal roles. They have some really. They have their star players. They have a nice system where all the teammates know who to go to for scoring, who does most of the rebounding, who does most of the ball handling. So they have a nice system.
No question. Meanwhile, on the other side for the Brighton Bengals, still looking for their first win of the season, but one player we saw last season as a freshman who we're going to see again here tonight is sophomore Jalen Hernandez, very long, athletic player for Brighton.
Very athletic, the best athlete by far on the Brighton team. Like you mentioned, long athletic. I'm looking at her in warm-up. She's grown. She's gotten longer and taller from being a freshman last year.
That's right.
And as a freshman, she was one of their better players.
That's
so
right.
Clearly, she's the sort of the target for the defense of the New Mission girls, because Jalen can do a little bit of everything, and she'll have to do a lot to keep her Brighton team in this game.
No question. And we saw Jalen last year as a freshman knock down some threes against East Boston, helped them win that game back in 2019. On the other side for the New Mission Titans, a player we've been watching since she was in 8th grade, and she's been a starter for New Mission since her freshman year. That's Jashari Green, the point guard for the Titans.
Well, Jashari, and it's unusual to say something like this about a high school player, but for the first few years, coaches were getting on her about being too unselfish. They wanted her to score more. They wanted her to create her own shot more. Now that she's a senior, I think it's finally sunk in, especially the ability to recognize during different parts of games when I need to take over. And Jashari has that ability. I think her strongest suit is going to the basket. She's so long, a very deceptive movement with her quickness, and she can score a lot. I know she had 26 in the game earlier this season. She's very capable of getting close to 30 points.
No question. She had 26, I believe, on Wednesday, and then she had 20 points last night in New Mission's loss to Woburn. Also had a ton of rebounds this week as well. So you mentioned the length. Coach Bowie mentioned that she's finishing much better around the rim with those long arms.
They've been trying to get her to do that for the past couple of seasons, and this year she has been more aggressive offensively. I ran to her mother a couple of weeks ago, and she said that she's off to a good start, and they're really hoping that she can finish off a strong senior season. I mean, one thing to remember also, these New Mission girls mentioned 7 seniors. They got bounced in the first round of the state tournament last year.
That's right.
It was a big surprise, not a total upset, but it just goes to show that one-and-done format, if you're not ready for the first tap-off of the first game, that can happen.
Yeah, that hasn't happened in a long time, I think, if ever, with the New Mission girls program. So this team was affected by that, and that certainly motivated them to start this season. Now, for more on this game here tonight at New Mission High, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Leverett Ball. Leverett?
Thanks, guys. So a couple players to watch this evening for New Mission will be number 5 and number 10, Rayla and Jayla Gonzalez. The Gonzalez sisters, they've really had remarkable careers here with this New Mission team, and they've really come into their own as upperclassmen. Both of them started out on the bench as reserves during their sophomore seasons, but really turned things on last year as juniors, and have continued that momentum into their senior seasons. And they do have a very similar style of play. Now, Rayla, however, is more of a scorer. Jayla is known as more of a facilitator on offense, someone who creates opportunities for her teammates. But look for the Gonzalez sisters to have a big impact in this evening's contest. Back to you.
Lever, thanks very much. The Gonzalez sisters were very good role players for New Mission over the last couple of seasons. Now that they're seniors, they're starters.
Let it all out.
They are some of the most important players on this team now, and it's fun to watch. We talked about watching Jashari since her freshman season. We've seen the Gonzalez sisters really grow a lot as basketball players over the years as well.
And the good thing is they stuck with it. So
right.
so you're talking about playing 4 straight seasons, and again, just like Jashari, they love all these teams would love to cap off their senior seasons, their last years of high school basketball, hopefully with a nice showing in the city championships, and then of course moving on to the state tournament.
No question. So will the New Mission Titans get back to their winning ways tonight, or will Brighton pick up their first win of the season? We're going to find out next here at New Mission High in Hyde Park. We'll be right back with the opening tap here in Game of the Week. See you in a few.
Are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can. Intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to New Mission High School in Hyde Park for Game of the Week. Tonight, the Brighton Bengals are taking on the New Mission Titans. As we mentioned, these are two Boston North rivals on the girls' side of Boston Public High School basketball. Just about set to go here at New Mission High. Here are the starters for Brighton. It's Arias, Hernandez, Long, Pyers, and Pyers. Meanwhile, for the New Mission Titans, it'll be Green, the two Gonzalez twins, Ashley Surrett, who's off to a great start this season, and Golston, the freshman, for New Mission.
It's good to see Surrett back. Remember last year she had a bad ankle injury.
That's right. It kept her out most of the season.
Right. So, and again, another senior, like you said. 7 seniors in white for New Mission. Obviously, they want to make an impression in each of these final high school varsity games.
One thing that's interesting for the Titans, there you see one of the Gonzalez twins there for New Mission, is two of their contributors this season, including their starting center this year, is Tony Angelique Golston, who's a freshman. So you got her starting at center. And then you have Jordan Ferreira, who's also a freshman player who comes off the bench. So you have all these seniors, then you got a couple freshmen sprinkled in there to come off the bench and be role players.
It's a really strange roster overall. New Mission has no sophomores, not one. They got 7 seniors, they got 5 juniors, and 2 freshmen.
Right.
no sophomores at all.
Right now, folks, they actually lost the scoreboard here at the gym, so they're using the scores table. They're using a different sort of smaller scoreboard there at the scores table. You can see it from this shot actually straight away there. So we'll do our best here to see if we can.
Won't fill until they figure out.
Right.
Get the right plugs in. There you go.
I think Coach Bowie had to reset the clock there for the scorers table. Not the first time we've seen that in high school basketball. I'm sure it won't be the last.
You know, it's funny, you talk about the contrast. This is an absolute contrast. You're talking about experienced team in white, the home team, New Mission, with the 7 seniors, and then the 2 freshmen you mentioned. Whereas Bengals, very inexperienced players, not much senior. I think they have 1 or 2 seniors, 1 senior listed. And quite frankly, they have a couple of players on the team that just aren't used to playing basketball. And so they're just learning. But because of short numbers, they're on the varsity team.
I think we are set to go now here at New Mission High. So New Mission in the all-white uniforms, blue trim. Brighton in the all-black uniforms, white trim. That's Gonzalez off the jump. Jayla Gonzalez coming up with the layup to start things off.
That's a pretty common tap play. Ashley Surrett got the ball, made a beautiful pass. Give Gonzalez that easy layup.
Ball stolen away by Golston, the freshman for New Mission. That's Surrett lining up a 3 and rattling it at home. Ashley Surrett has provided a lot of good shooting for this New Mission team to start the year, something they didn't have a lot last year. There you see Jashari Green coming up with the steal. Doesn't get the layup, but she's going to get a couple free throws.
Yeah, you can see the inexperience of this Brighton team. Like we said in the open, they have to depend on Jalen Hernandez, the sophomore, even though she's their biggest player and has to rebound and try to score inside. She also has to bring the ball up in some cases. Any team that tries to put any kind of pressure on their ball handling, she'll be the one to try to bring the ball up.
Green unable to hit the first. That's been one of her, not necessarily Achilles heel because she's not a terrible free throw shooter, but for somebody who goes to the basket so much, she really needs to do well at the free throw line.
Remember her being a freshman. Matter of fact, as an 8th grader, she was in the program. So those 4 years flew by pretty quickly.
No question. Carla Pyers came in with a rebound for Brighton. Here's Hernandez looking for an opening. 3-pointer from the corner off the mark. Jayla Gonzalez again with the rebound. Quickly up to Green. Jashari this time gets the hoop in the arm for the Titans.
Well, Titans historically, at least the last, 5-6 years, have been a fast break, and actually more than that. So I go back 8 years. they've been a up-tempo type of fast-paced game. They want to move the ball. Everyone wants to run. They know as soon as they get a rebound, just get into your sprint, get down court.
And Green unable to complete the three-point play, so
she's going to blame us for talking about her bad flop shoot. She missed, what, 3 in a row now?
Yeah, 0 for 3 from the stripe. Trying to get it inside the Pyres. It's poked away by Surrett. Jayla Gonzalez again up to Green for the lefty layup.
Brighton coach Andrew Floyd has got a tough situation because normally you have at least 2 or 3 players to build around. This Brighton team, unfortunately, just doesn't have that.
Hernandez can't knock down the 3. Pyres trying to put it back up and in. Took an extra step, so that's going to go back to New Mission.
We're talking about contrast. I mean, over the past same amount of years, 7, 8 years, the Brighton boys program has been much stronger, going to state championships and going deep into the tournament. So it's a weird dynamic how that happens in the same high school.
That's
you
right.
can have one team, a boys basketball team, really high, flying high. Girls have been struggling, and you just never know. I mean, I'm sure Coach Floyd's been around long enough to know that in the fall, you may have a couple of freshmen out of nowhere coming in,
right,
know how to play.
That's right. He had that last year.
Right, and want to play for Brighton. So that's, the one thing about high school, it can change really quick.
It's funny about the girls and boys side of high school basketball. Some high school populations, the
right.
girls and boys vary
too. That's a
too.
division, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were talking to Coach Bowie before the game, and Vin was saying that they played Woburn last night, and the Woburn boys team is Division II, but the Woburn girls team is Division I because they have
so many more
than a 2-to-1 ratio of girls to boys at the high school. Surrett off the steal. Gonzalez inside to Green. That time it was Rayla finding Jashari Green.
You talk about girls who know how to pass the ball, unselfish, because they realize being unselfish is the best way to try to get a win. They've jumped off to a 12-0 lead.
So the Mission on top, 12-0 here with 5:59 left to go in the first quarter.
I tell you, probably the toughest thing for Brighton is they literally only had 3 shots.
Right.
They had an air ball, and they had a long 3-pointer, and then they had one taken away for travel. So it's that's as much a challenge as anything else, because Coach Floyd, he's actually proud of the defense they try to play, but offensively they really struggle with girls. If you're inexperienced, you just sort of tend to stand around unless you have the ball. If you don't have it, if you're not a player from a very young age, you're not used to cutting to the basket, you're not used to coming to set picks, and the more you stand around, the less quality shots you're going to get.
We mentioned, too, that Jalen Hernandez has got to be the ball handler for Brighton. And unfortunately, she's their best scorer as well and their best rebounder.
So they can't balance the floor.
If you don't have a point guard who can bring it up and let her set up in position, makes it much tougher.
Here she is now. So they're going to double team her up top. And it's just tough to create some passing angles.
Surrett back down the other end.
I'm really glad to see Surrett apparently fully healthy, because she good sophomore year, like you said, had the problem with the ankle last year.
Jashari Green with another steal. Always seems to pick those up with those long arms. Yeah. Can't convert the layup. Now we got a jump ball.
They got the long arms. She also has good hands. I mean, she has good soft hands, so she's able to.
Talk about long arms. Jalen Hernandez deflected that, or at least created a tougher shot for Jashari, and then was able to tie up the ball.
Another jump ball.
So as we mentioned, Brighton started off the season 5-0, just lost last night to Woburn for their first loss of the season.
Yeah, New Mission lost,
I'm sorry, Woburn, my apologies. New Mission lost last night. As here comes Rayla Gonzalez over to Jayla. Good feed inside to Surrett.
Yeah, but, you know, it's interesting, Pat. A lot of city teams don't play suburban teams early in the season, but it's a good idea for Coach Bowie to do that because you don't want to wait till the state tournament before you start going out to the suburbs.
Green gets it poked away.
Gonzalez.
Jayla Gonzalez knocks down the mid-range jumper. Rayla off the steal. Tries to go behind the back to Jashari Green, who fires up a three, and she's well short. Rayla there for the rebound. Surrett lines up a three. Can't get it to go. That goes out of bounds off. Oh, they're going to say it's New Mission ball. I thought Golston knocked it out of bounds.
Not, but it's all right. Yeah, the Brighton team just really out of sync offensively. That's leading to some easy offense for New Mission.
Surrett short with that three. Golston, good save. Rayla Gonzalez, no good on the jumper. Jashari Green can't get the putback. Golston tries to feed it inside. Loose ball picked up by Pyers. Stolen away by Rayla. She gets the easy two.
Yeah, it's just a tough situation. You see the body language of the Brighton girls. The frustration is really sinking in already. See, the point you made is right. The best ball handler stays up top to try to set things up, but once the ball gets out of her hands, there's a lot of indecision.
Hernandez gets it knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Brighton Bengals. Jumper around the rim and out that time for Carlina Pyers. Coming up on 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Green short on the jumper, gets her own rebound and put back. You know, Jashari had, stats-wise, a good game last night. He had about 20 points and 10 rebounds against Woburn, but Coach Bowie was mentioning if you watched her, she really struggled. And he said he was complimenting how good Woburn's defense was against New Mission last night, how well they executed their defense. And he was saying that's something that's really going to help them prepare for the state tournament.
No doubt. I think it's a good lesson. You start off 5-0, you start feeling really good about yourself, especially the seniors. So you go, you go out, Woburn, a Division I team, like you said. I'm not unfamiliar with them, but I can imagine that they had some pre-game scouting. They knew about, Jashari is one of the top scorers, and they prepared for it.
Surrett, once again, no good on the three. Rebound comes down to Brighton, but Rayla Gonzalez there to pick up the loose ball for New Mission. That's going to go back to
Brighton.
Brighton.
Double deflection there, so goes back to the Bengals. Well, the good thing about a game like this for us, anyway, we can get a preview of both the city and state tournaments. New Mission, no doubt, will be in the good, obviously, barring any kind of injuries, will be in a good position to have a good seed. They would actually like to do some damage in the city championships. Got beat last year.
That's right. They got beat in the semifinals by Fenway. And there's actually a new alignment with the City League this year. They've gone back to 3 divisions rather than 4. So now we have Boston North, Boston South, and Boston West. So what's going to happen with the city playoffs is there's going to be the top 2 teams in each of the 3 divisions goes to the city playoffs. Then you have 4 teams playing in the first round. And then the top 2 teams would get a bye, I'm guessing record-wise. So it's a little bit different than with last year where the top 4 teams,
that's right.
And then they had the top 2 in the East, the North and South. But New Mission did get bounced by Fenway in the city semifinals last year. So unable to convert underneath. Jashari Green with another rebound. Mid-range jumper is good from Jashari, and Coach Bowie mentioned that's much improved this season for Jashari Green.
Well, her brother, Jashari's brother Lance, actually, he was a college basketball player. I saw him over the summer. He said he took her out some to work on her outside shot, especially her mid-range shot.
And Lance, a good player at Charlestown back in the early 2000s, or mid-2000s rather. And
he went on and played at UMass Lowell.
Jayla Gonzalez now with 6 assists to get New Mission to this 28-point lead here with just 25 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And we'll see what happens with New Mission and how they sprinkle in their subs here throughout the rest of the game. But you just see
very soon.
No question. But you see Jashari Green and how well that she's been playing, creating turnovers and scoring lanes, finishing very well. Leverett Ball, our sideline reporter, has got an update for us. Leverett, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. So during the last timeout, Coach Floyd repeated these same 2 words to his team over and over again. Calm down, calm down. Now, Coach Floyd sees, obviously, that his team is pressing a little bit. And a lot of times, when a team is losing, you'll see their head coach, yelling, trying to fire the team up. But Coach Floyd, being smart, understanding that, his team has been trying to force things and just trying to calm things down, slow things down, and get them back on track. We'll see what they can do moving forward. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Leverett. Certainly totally understand what Coach Floyd's saying there.
It's a tough situation overall. And the problem is human nature has all 5 of the Brighton girls looking at the scoreboard and see the big 0 up.
Sure.
And until they until they at least score a hoop, they're not going to be able to calm down.
That's right.
It's almost like, who's going to do it?
Could be Jalen as she's unable to hit that jumper. That ball goes out of bounds and almost takes out our entire announcer booth. I could see it coming to him. My reaction was so slow that I couldn't even save our monitor. We're good now.
Well, our water bottle said this. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
That was actually the best shot they've had in their rotation.
That's right. Good swing for the Titans. Jayla Gonzalez rattles home a 3 there for New Mission.
Yeah, you mentioned the Gonzalez in the open. You're right. If those twins can pass and shoot like they're doing in this game the rest of the season, that's going to add another weapon for this New Mission team.
That's right.
It's like you said, they've been role players their entire careers here. Good attitudes. So a game like this, obviously, a wide score, you can work on that shot. Get some shots in some live action.
Folks, that's the end of the first quarter here at New Mission. We're going to head to break when we come back with the second quarter here on Game of the Week. Right after these words, don't go away.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to New Mission High School in Hyde Park for Game of the Week as the New Mission Lady Titans are hosting the Brighton Bengals. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. If you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW.
Well, like you mentioned, you called it, Pat, a whole new 5 in there for New Mission.
Jumper from Brighton off the mark. Jalen Hernandez there for the rebound. Can't get the putback to go. Destiny Long comes up with the loose ball. She's going to get 2 free throws.
First trip to the foul line for Brighton. Best chance to get on the scoreboard finally.
Destiny Long's one of those players that was on the Brighton squad last year. Didn't get a ton of playing time. Came off the bench.
Came off the bench as a shooter, basically.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she's one player that could contribute to this Brighton team going forward. Long unable to hit the second. Shania Drayton comes away with the rebound.
You mentioned that new format, Pat. You gotta wonder if that's going to affect Which boys or girls will affect the most in terms of how the tournament is set up? It's a bit of a change. It seems like a subtle type of thing, but you never can tell. It can create some really interesting matchups.
Steal for Longo, wasn't able to convert the layup, so coming down with the rebound for New Mission was Ali Bonilla.
And you'll see the backup players for New Mission still moving the ball around.
Runner around the rim and out that time for Golston. My apologies, that was Kiana DeBarros, who couldn't hit that one. Brighton still looking for their first basket here. A minute and a half gone by in the second quarter.
Here's the standing around I was talking about.
Destiny Hernandez connected from long distance.
Right.
Or Jalen Hernandez, excuse me.
Well,
I combined Destiny Long and Jalen Hernandez.
It's a good way to start out, right? Yeah. Make your first one a loud 3.
Runner that time from New Mission. That's saved by New Mission, but the loose ball goes to Brighton. You did see Brighton talking a little more on defense after getting that first basket.
Like I said, having a 0 up there just dominates your mind. Because you know it's not going to go away by itself.
That's right.
You could actually score a hoop to get it.
Corner 3 off the back iron.
Hey.
Off the up fake and getting 2 free throws that time for the Titans was Tamika Works, the junior. Now, if you're a junior for this New Mission team, you have all these really good seniors ahead of you. That's really tough because you're sitting for a couple of years like, when am I going to get my chance?
What? I know before the game, we were talking to Coach Boyd, and I really do think he's talking to those juniors and freshmen about next year already.
Sure.
Because look, all your upperclassmen are all going to be gone. We're going to have to actually get some other players. We have to get some JV players to move up. But you're going to be the ones. You're on varsity now.
That's right.
So you're going to get playing time because there are going to be some other games similar to this. Because New Mission's just a very good team. So there'll be a lot of playing time for the bench players. It's just a matter of you got to take advantage of it. Get out there, run the offense, play hard on defense, run the floor.
Destiny Long coming away with that loose ball, but she rolled over, so that's a travel. Go back to New Mission. Barros on the drive. Gets it to go for the Titans.
Yeah, I like that one. Looked like she's a little off balance, but she's able to get a little finger roll.
Destiny Long tries a 3, buries it for the Bengals.
Okay.
So Brighton now with 2 threes.
I remember her from last year. Destiny came off the bench and she would jack up some outside shots.
That's right. Now a steal here for Brighton. It's Carolyn Vianella. Comes away with the loose ball. Long from the elbow.
A little over anxious that time. Had 2 offensive rebounds. Just get it and jack it up. Again, inexperience.
Brighton leading in the rebounding department this quarter. Corner 3 is knocked down that time for the Lady Titans. Tamika Works.
Yeah, that's a deep one from the corner.
Midway through the second quarter here, Brighton looking for their next basket as Hernandez banks it off the window.
Well, thinking about next season, it's all going to start with keeping Hernandez at the program. If she stays at Brighton and hopefully brings her friends,
yeah, right.
I mean, that's how you talk about starting from the bottom. That's exactly how you do it.
That's
Clearly,
right.
she's look at it. She's bigger, she's taller anyway than she was last season. Still got those long arms, good hands, good shooting stroke. Lots to work with.
She certainly can be a stretch big for this team for the next couple of seasons. If they can just find a point guard, I think that'll really help things out for this Brighton program. It's going to stay with the Bengals.
They had a player last year, who must have transferred who was playing with Hernandez. Was it the East Boston game?
That's right.
It was East Boston. And the two of them really, they controlled the offense for Brighton, and they stayed in the game.
And they actually ended up winning that game late at East Boston against a senior-led East Boston.
Missed a bunch of free throws at the end, yeah. The high school sports in general, just totally unpredictable. Talk about things going bad. You get Hernandez trying to tie her sneaker. Meanwhile, her teammate
tried to pass to the ball.
And had to go out of bounds. Fisher could have given him a break on that one. I think her shoe actually came off.
No harm there from the turnover. As Destiny Long now looking for an opening. Hernandez now with it in the corner. Jalen get double teamed, trying to go baseline. She does. Stops and pops for the Bengals.
Looked like she was going to get forced out of bounds, but that slim body of hers allowed her to slip through.
Hernandez now with 8 points to lead Brighton. 7 points rather.
There we go. Another one.
Stolen away by Long, and she picked up her dribble.
Good defensive pressure to force the traveling violation. But, it's good to see Brighton score some points. They got 10 now. They didn't score at all in the first quarter.
Yeah, once you get to that double-digit mark, then you can really settle down.
You can feel like, okay, we got a whole other half to go.
Works no good on the corner three. And good hustle by Pyers to get the loose ball.
They call a foul on the pick. One thing that Carla Pyers has been trying to do is set picks for Hernandez. That time to get called in the moving swing.
Mission again on the good swing. That three-pointer well off the mark there for the Titans as here comes Hernandez in the open floor. Over to Long. Destiny off the up fake. Tries a runner, and she's going to get 2 from the stripe.
Well, we've seen Coach Boy for New Mission keep his entire second unit here in the second quarter. 1:45 to go before halftime. Good sportsmanship.
And like you mentioned before, some of these younger players and even the juniors who haven't seen a lot of time, now they're getting some varsity basketball time here as the season goes along.
Just work your way into the system. Get comfortable with what you're trying to do.
Long now 0 for 4 from the free throw line.
She's usually a good shooter from the free throw line.
Yeah, she's got a pretty good stroke. Yeah. Just hasn't gone down for her. Runner that time from DeBarros is short. Pyers comes away with a rebound for Brighton. Hernandez up to Long. Destiny to the basket. And gets the ball wedged in between the rim and the backboard.
So we had an inbound play while you're tying your shoe. Now we got the wedge ball on a layup.
See, it was going to go in. That's unfortunate.
That's not the thing. That's the bad part about it, right?
Minute 10 left to go here at New Mission before the half. Drayton on the drive, and Shania Drayton's going to head to the free throw line. Shania is another senior here for New Mission that's gotten some time over the past couple of years, but Coach Bowie mentioned she started off the season with some health issues and wasn't able to start like everybody else, so they're sort of easing her back into the system.
Yeah, illnesses and injuries, especially early in the season, because the basketball season flies by. And before you know it, it's February. We're talking about city championships,
right.
And the state tournament. A lot of games, and then in this case with New Mission, like you said, you have the unusual situation of a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, back-to-back games, which you hardly ever see. But it's good to see her out there anyway. She's played this entire second quarter.
Hernandez firing up another three. That one no good off the backboard.
It's interesting. When she shoots from the wing, she actually shoots a backboard three-pointer.
Corner three off the back iron, no good. That's going to go up off the top of the backboard, out of bounds. Back to the Brighton Bengals here with about 30 seconds left to go before halftime.
Stop and go action there. That freed her up.
Hernandez knocking down another jumper. She's now got 9 for the Brighton Bengals.
A little hesitation dribble that time actually freed her up for that shot.
Drayton makes one off the window just before the half.
Wow.
Here for the New Mission Titans.
Well, when it's going well, it's going well. When it's going bad, I tell you, you get that contrast all the way down the line in this one.
So Brighton able to score a decent amount of points there in the second quarter. They put up either 11 or 12. I think they have a different score here in the gym as we do in our truck. But the Bengals right now, a little bit better in the second quarter.
The Bengals, they say they have 15.
That's right.
So we'll compromise.
They, a little bit better in the second quarter. Obviously, the second unit's in for New Mission, and less experienced players for New Mission against less experienced players for Brighton, and that certainly helps things out.
A little bit more balance, but the key was get the first hoop.
That's right.
And once they did that, they got that long three from Hernandez to get things started. Like you picked up on it. Defense all of a sudden started moving around. They're pressuring. Got a few steals. So you're right. It's just tough that you have such a discrepancy in talent.
No question. Our sideline reporter, Leverett Balls, with Coach Bowie, the head coach for the New Mission Titans. So, Leverett, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Coach, first off, great start for your team. You have a big lead going into the second half. What has the key to success been so far?
For this game, our girls are just playing a lot of defense. They've been really good getting into the passing lanes, obviously getting out in transition. Now we're just trying to work on some other things. Our bench has been tremendous this second quarter. They come in, everyone's contributing. We share the ball very well. That's been our biggest improvement from last year. I think that's our biggest strength right now.
And you mentioned your bench. Obviously with a big lead, how nice is it to be able to maybe get some playing time for some players who aren't in there as often?
Oh no, that's great. It's always a great thing to have them come in, have bench players come in, especially how hard we practice. I would put our practice plan against anyone's in the city, and some of these girls they may not see a minute of playing time otherwise, but here they are, and not only getting on the floor, playing hard, but also contributing, on the offensive end.
Well, and obviously some teams, when they have a big lead, they'll get complacent. How do you keep your team focused, with the hefty lead going into the second half?
Usually, if there's a big lead, we're not just there trying to mess around. Like what we try to do is there are games within games that you can play. There are challenges that you can have for your team. I mean, even with big leads, you can't you can't be perfect enough on defense. So right now we're not talking at all on defense. So if we can improve on that, we're not rotating quickly enough, we're still fouling, things like that. So that's how I keep them engaged for games like this.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time, and best of luck in the second half. Back to you.
Lever, thanks very much. That's a very good point there by Coach Bowie we saw in the first half. How well that New Mission shares the ball. You saw the ball pinging around the perimeter on both the first unit and the second unit.
Very unselfish. And somehow Coach Bowie has done what all coaches try to do, convince your team the more you pass, the better quality shots you're going to get. And especially at the high school level, it's just tough to teach young players or get young players to really buy in and believe that that's the case. They think if they're in a position where they have a shot, an open shot that's in their range, they want to take it, as opposed to seeking out what could be a better shot or even a layup. So.
No question. No question. So we saw that a lot from New Mission in the first half. I'm sure we'll see it from them in the second half. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime stats and a couple of halftime highlights here from New Mission High and Hyde Park here in Game of the Week. Make sure you stick around.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely. We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates, our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Welcome back to New Mission High School in Hyde Park for Game of the Week as the New Mission Titans with a commanding lead over the Brighton Bengals. We're going to take a look at our halftime stats before we get going here in the third quarter. And first up, it's going to be the Brighton Bengals.
As Brighton, most of this damage done in the first quarter. Second quarter. They didn't score at all in the first quarter. Hernandez 9 points, Long with 3, 6 rebounds for Perez. Hernandez with 5 rebounds and an assist for both Long and Hernandez.
Let's take a look at New Mission stats.
Now, most of theirs was done in the first quarter. As you had Green with 15, Gonzalez with 9, 3 rebounds for both Gonzalez and Green. You see Gonzalez everywhere, right? Well, there's two of them. That's why. 2 twin sisters. They play well, very similar. One appears to be a slightly better shooter, while the other passes the ball very unselfishly.
We're going to start the third quarter here at New Mission, and a lot of New Mission's bench is back in there to start the third quarter. Sometimes you'll see coaches have their starters start the third quarter even with a game like this just to kind of continue to have them getting used to starting the third quarter.
Yeah, the routine, exactly. But in this situation, I think that Coach Bowie is doing the right thing. He's allowing the bench players to pretty much play this out. They have a 30-point lead. Nice offensive rebound.
The Barrows corner three, that time no good either. Rebound for Brighton. Number 4, we don't have a number 4 on our roster, so see if we can get that for you.
Well, Hernandez is not starting
Destiny Long knocking down the three from the corner.
On the bench, you're seeing, okay, I see an ice pack on Hernandez's foot, or ankle. So maybe when she lost her shoe, something might have happened with that. She's icing her left foot down.
I was actually talking to Jalen before the game a little bit, and she mentioned that in the game against Cash, her toe actually got stepped on, and her big toe nail got messed up.
That can be bad. Oh, yeah.
So she had to take care of that. I guess it's feeling a little bit better today, but maybe now that she's on the bench, she's going to ice it for a little bit.
Nice cuts the basket by Beyonde Eltoon, but passed a little too long.
You see Ashley Surratt getting stretched out. I mentioned a good start here for Ashley as she is in a long line of Surratt sisters who have been good basketball players.
Right there. Yeah, it looks like 3 of them are there, and I think the mother's there also. Yeah, the mother was stretching her out. And so you got, I think the other 3 sisters, or 3 of the sisters are there.
Definitely see Kiara over there for the Surratt family. She was a very good player for New Mission just a few years ago. At one point, it was Kiara and Ashley together.
Right. Ashley was the underclassman. Yeah.
I remember we kept seeing Surratts come through the City League, and everybody kept saying, the youngest is the best. And we finally saw Ashley as a freshman for New Mission. They weren't wrong. She was a very good freshman and sophomore before getting hurt last season. Barros on the drive, can't hit the runner. And Perez with the rebound for Brighton. Destiny Long gets the ball tapped away. Now we have a loose ball that's going to be a jump ball. It's going to stay with, no, let's go back to New Mission, excuse me.
Now, like Hernandez's spirit, she just threw her stock and sneak it back on. She's ready to come back in the game. She was definitely icing down her, like you mentioned, her toe. Had to beat the toe. But so she'll be back momentarily. Nice fake.
Off the runner. That time, shot doesn't fall for
Flores.
Jenelise Flores, but a good drive nonetheless. We got a backcourt violation there on Brighton. The one thing you will say about Brighton having this short roster is all these players who have not played a lot of basketball are just going to get a lot of minutes all season long.
Now, there's no doubt about that, and it's good. I mean, depending on what your level of interest is, maybe you really want to play to improve, to get better, or you just want to have this as an activity. And that's when you're talking about when you're trying to coach, you have to identify right away who are the players who are serious and want to get better. It will take my instruction and my coaching, and who are the ones who are just sort of here as an activity. Brighton has to get that next step and get more ladies who want to improve their skills and really want to play competitively. Mission already has that. And, like we said, now next year will be something different because they're going to lose 7 seniors. But they have some players. A lot of these girls who are up there now, the second quarter in here, the third quarter, they'll be back next season.
Yeah, we've seen Tamika Works and DeBarros knock down shots for the Titans. So Brighton Bengals certainly played much better the second and third quarter. They're actually on a 20-10 run through the second and third quarter.
Well, again, obviously everything changed when the starters sat down after the first quarter. They were ahead, 28-0?
33-0.
Oh, 33. What is okay? So, Brighton in black got their chance to get back in the game, or at least to score some points in the second quarter, and they took advantage of it. Now they're continuing the third quarter. They've actually outscored New Mission here in the third quarter, 8-0, but they were still down 25 points.
One thing too with this Brighton Bengals team, if you're a a female over at Brighton Hyde, you want to play basketball, one thing you can say, the coach could say to her too, is if you play for us, you're going to play a lot.
Definitely going to play a lot. I mean,
even though you're a first,
they didn't have a JV team.
Right.
It was supposed to be a junior varsity game. There weren't enough players to have the game.
That jumper's rattled home for Flores.
Flores actually made that same move a couple of plays ago. Nice little up fake, move to the baseline. That's how she was able to finish. She's doing everything she can to not smile. But she earned that. That's a travel. She earned that. Lose your balance, you travel.
(45-20), New Mission on top here with 2:45 left to go in the third quarter.
Run a little weave now. See this for a lot of college teams. Ends up with that baseline three-pointer.
The Barrows.
I mean, you talk about the underclassmen running that to perfection. Half-court offense. Weave twice, kicks the wing, wide open three in the corner. Coach Boyd has to like that.
Destiny Long fires up another three.
Now he does have a few other players on the bench who haven't played yet. You talk about the 10, the 5 who started, then this 5 here. But there's still either 3 or 4 players who haven't played at all.
Another good swing for the Titans. The Barrows, no good off the back iron. That's knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with New Mission.
Well, like we talked about when Leverett talked to Coach Boyd at halftime, it's not a matter of just messing around because you get a big lead. You go out there and you run the offense like you're supposed to, play hard on defense. Because he's right, there's never an excuse for not playing defense.
Jalen Hernandez back in for the Brighton Bengals as that short there for New Mission. Here comes Jalen. Long back to Hernandez. Fires up a three. Jalen can't hit that one. It might have even been deflected, but it's going to go back to Brighton. Back to New Mission, rather, excuse me. Just over a minute left to go here in the third quarter. Good drive that time by DeBarros. Gets knocked away. Tamika works. Corner three. Buries it. DeBarros and Works trading threes.
I think DeBarros is going to be a key player for next season because she stays with the ball the entire time. She's one of the juniors you mentioned.
So Mission now on an 8-0 run after a couple of threes from DeBarros and Works. Can't hit that one, and Hernandez rips down the rebound for the Brighton Bengals. Destiny Long looking for an opening. Tries to save it for Brighton. Here comes New Mission again. DeBarros. Three ball from the corner. Buried for the Titans. That time it's Ali Bonilla connected from long distance.
That was a deep one. Just into the third quarter. Wow.
That'll do it for the 3 quarters here at New Mission High. The Titans in full command here over the Brighton Bengals. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll be ready for the 4th quarter here on Game of the Week from New Mission. Right after these messages, folks. Don't go away.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to New Mission High School in Hyde Park for Game of the Week as the New Mission Titans lead the Brighton Bengals. Folks, next week we're going to go back to the boys' side of the basketball over to Madison Park High in Roxbury as we have what we like to call the Battle of the Complex.
Complex, that's right. Yeah.
O'Brien Tigers taking on the Madison Park Cardinals. That game starts at 5:30 next Friday, January 17th. Tune in live on Boston City TV for Comcast. It's channel 24, RCN channel 13, Verizon channel 1962.
Okay, so now everybody for New Mission is played as the final quarter opens up with some new faces. That's something. You got 14 players and everyone gets ample playing time. That's well, it's obviously a tribute to your starters, who took full advantage of the fact that they were so much better.
Long trying to come up with a steal, and that goes off of New Mission back to Brighton.
So you got 4 new players out there along with Flores. Flores is the only one sort of held over from the third quarter.
I think Jordan Ferreira, the freshman, 23, also I think got a little bit of time there in the third quarter. She's in for New Mission as well. Hernandez fires up another three, short with that one.
Yeah, you can tell. It looks like her foot's really bothering her. She doesn't even shoot air balls like that. So
it's got to be tough to get your legs underneath you when you're trying to launch a three.
I mean, she may want to think about sitting out the rest of this. Although she's spirit-wise, she's still in it. She's talking defense, telling her teammates where to go, trying to respond to defense in the lane.
Three ball again on the way and good. And
maybe
it's
that's why
Flores
Flores
one more time.
is out there as the 5th player. So she's played the second, third, and now the beginning of the 4th quarter.
Destiny Long trying for a 3-inch short with that one. Rebound for New Mission. Golston back in for the Titans. She can't finish underneath. Gets her own rebound.
Swing.
Ferreira tries for a 3. And that's going to go back to Brighton.
That's the only time that we didn't get the extra pass comes to the corner. So you mentioned New Mission got their first loss last night. So okay, you bounce back here with an expected win because you have far more talent. So the question is, okay, how do you move on from here? What's the challenge in terms of Coach Bowie to try to get his starters or his key players back into the rhythm to get them that 5-0 start? Like we said, the season flies away.
That runner knows good. Good rebound inside from Golston. They kick it back out to Ferreira. She can't hit the 3. Mission with another rebound, but that's going to go off of Golston back to Brighton. You mentioned where New Mission's going to go from here. Right now, they have Snowden next week. They actually, after playing all these games in a row, they don't have another game till Thursday, unless the schedule, they're going to add games to the schedule.
It's a really quirky schedule, yeah.
So next Thursday, they have Snowden, who's not had a great season so far, but they have been able to win a couple games. New Mission should win that one. Then they got the big one. They got Fenway on Tuesday the 21st. So that's probably going to be their best test of the season. And then
John Rice is actually here. He's in the stands. I saw him at halftime. He's in the stands scouting this game. Unfortunately for him, he only saw 1/4 of the starters.
Well, he could go home early. that's the good thing for him.
But you're right. Yeah, obviously Fenway will be their best test. It's a good time for it too. I mean, like you said, there'll be a bit of a break. You play Snowden after some time to practice, and then after that you go to Fenway.
Yeah, later on after Fenway, they have Boston United a couple days later. They've already beaten them once this season. Then they go at Fontbonne that Friday. So they play Boston United on Thursday. Then they play Fontbonne on Friday. So Fontbonne always good. That's an all-girls school. Always a tough team to play.
Yeah, it's was it Quincy or Braintree? Yeah.
It's sort of right around that line in the Quincy.
But you're
Braintree
right.
area.
They always have a competitive program. We see them in the state tournament all the time.
That's
So,
right.
Another good test.
Right, and I think they'll have some other games sprinkled in there, as sometimes there's games added throughout the season. But then they have Fenway on February 7th, and then O'Brien on February 10th. So they beat O'Brien earlier in the season, but O'Brien never an easy opponent either.
No.
So they will have some tough games coming up as
Nice
Hernandez buries it from the top of the key.
I apologize for saying this, and maybe she wants to sit down.
She wants to shoot. That's what she wants to do. A good seal there for Brighton. Here comes Destiny Long picking up the loose ball. She gets fouled.
Yeah, reaching foul there on the freshman Ferreira.
Jumper off the window that time from Perez, no good. Rebound comes down to New Mission. Golston with the runner.
That one gets she's been trying. She's been trying to drive from the wings. That time she saw the opening from the foul line. Quick dribble drive. Nice finish.
Golston's first basket. She actually started with the 4 seniors
Oh,
to begin the game.
Right.
But Coach Bowie, I'm sure he wants to put her in there because he also wants her to play with the players she's going to be with over the next couple of seasons.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Golston off the steal, gets the layup.
Back-to-back hoops, showing some speed. Amazing how you get faster when you see that basket in front of you with no defenders. And we all talk about that in football. Golston again trying for 3 with 3 in a row. Wow. Good.
Ferrara, corner jumper.
There you go.
Knocks it down for the Titans.
So between Ferrara and Golston, you're talking about seeing the future of the next 3 seasons, right? That's a nice little flurry they had.
That's right. You got folks at home.
A little winded, but that's all right.
You got folks at home too, like New Mission has more good players again.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's programs with success, tend to sort of rejuvenate themselves as players come to the school or students come to the school and decide, okay, well, good academics plus I can play in a competitive basketball program. It doesn't happen by accident. I mean, very few times happens by accident. But when you have a number of years of success and sustained success, and you know you have a program where both boys and girls have the chance to grow, have the chance to get taught skills, good coaching, and of course, the player just has to bring the desire to want to get better. Obviously do your schoolwork first and foremost, but take care of your body, listen to the coaches, do your drills, and on your own, do some practicing. Talk about great shooters, both of the boys and girls. All of them, at some point, practice on their own with shooting, on their own time, when they're equipped doing anything else. That's how a program like New Mission is able to sustain itself.
You talk about Brighton as well. I mean, they've had a tough time over the last couple of years, but I remember a few years ago we were sort of starting out game of the week. Brighton was in the Girls City Championship.
Right. I mean,
they had a very good team.
It's the funniest thing. It only takes 1 or 2 players, like I said, in the first half, out of nowhere, to just walk in, say, Coach, I'm interested in trying out for the team.
Oh, you're tall? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That helps. Oh, you can run a little bit?
Right.
That helps even more.
And you just made 4 in a row? Okay.
You can start.
Nice pass.
Long chasing after the loose ball. Destiny still hitting the floor for the loose balls here for Brighton. Ferreira couldn't hit the lefty layup. Hernandez clearly changed his shot.
Final minute.
See if Brighton can create a good shot here, maybe for Hernandez or Long.
She wants to jack up a 3.
Right. Waiting for the screen.
There it is.
Hernandez. Gets it poked away that time. Here comes Golston. She wants another one.
Oh, definitely.
Tony Golston.
Oh, I'd say that was impressive because she actually lost her balance on that, but still maintains enough control to get the shot off. Golston's been the star of this fourth quarter.
Off the up fake, Long trying to score off the window. Hernandez now from the elbow. Banks it off the window.
She likes that bank shot from the wing. Anytime she comes away from the center. One last shot. Oh, that's going to do it. No, that's why I wrap it up.
So that'll do it here at New Mission High as the Titans take down Brighton. Game never really in doubt as soon as that first couple of minutes started, and but it's good to see Brighton pick up some points there. Certainly 27 points, nothing to sneeze at, but for New Mission, clearly one of the best teams in the city this year as we get through the season. This is our first girls game of 2020, so we'll see Latin Academy and O'Brien actually later on in the season. But New Mission right back in a spot where they're going to be 6-1. They're going to have a very good record this year as long as there's no big-time injuries to this team or anything like that.
They have 7 seniors who Coach Boyd can depend on. Obviously, 4 of them are starters. So, like you said, you ran down that they have some, a tough stretch coming up. They got still got Fenway twice, and a couple of other teams in front bomb out of the league. But the key is they got off to a good start. It's not always easy to play well when you are clearly overmatching your opponent. So there's something to be said for 33-0. For something to be said for the fact that not only did they score, but they defended well enough to shut out the Brighton team for the entire first quarter. So I think Coach Boyd overall has to be happy. All of his girls played, the varying amounts of minutes. And I think that the key is the body language on the bench was still good with the starters, even though they only played the first quarter, literally. They played the first quarter, and that was it, other than Golston. So the senior starters only played the first quarter. It was clear that they had an easy win, in their sights. So for them to be able to support their underclass teammates, that's good spirit. And like I said, we both said early in the open, this New Mission team really wants to make up for last season. Getting bounced in the getting beaten in the semifinals of the cities, and then getting bounced in the first round of the state tournament. So those seniors have that in their heads.
Sure.
So they want to just be able to continue to progress, and also have the underclassmen develop so that you never know when someone will be needed off the bench. They'll be ready.
It always seems to happen in the postseason too.
Oh,
one player has to step up to help a team advance, and that's usually how
many
teams
times
win
we
state
have you written up the big reviews?
That's right.
And we were doing the game, and at some point in the game, a player who hasn't even been mentioned
comes out of nowhere,
rebound, gets 4 or 5 rebounds, gets 2 or 3 assists, hits a couple of 3-pointers, whatever. It happens all the time. That's what's fun about doing the games.
No question. It completely changes the game. It's always a lot of fun when an unexpected player does something like that. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our final stats here from New Mission High here on Game of the Week. Make sure you stick around.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addicted. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to New Mission High School in Hyde Park at the conclusion of the game of the week. The New Mission Titans with a dominating win over the Brighton Bengals. And need to clear something up here. I was making a mistake. The Gonzalez sisters, their first names are not Rayla and Jayla. It's Ryla and Jyla. So I want to make sure I get that right. It's Ryla and Jyla Gonzalez, and Jyla Gonzalez really filled up the stat sheet tonight. Did a lot of different things for this New Mission team. She is our MVP of the game here tonight for the New Mission Titans, and she is with our sideline reporter, Leverett Ball. So, Leverett, take it away.
Thanks, guys. So first off, Jyla, it was a big evening for you. You had 9 points, 6 assists, also made some plays defensively. How are you able to get in such a rhythm?
I work with my team, work well, communicate, rotate every position. Yeah. That's what
And, you mentioned communication. In addition to you guys were able to get a number of players involved in the offense, really spread the ball around. How much has that helped you this season, just being able to get everyone on the same page and kind of share the ball?
Well, by communicating, we gave each other, basically confidence to shoot, go in, and, yeah.
And, how can the team just build momentum off this win and continue to play well down the stretch?
Say it again?
Well, and how can the team build confidence off this win? Just keep things going down the stretch, continue to play well.
Just talk to each other, lift each other up before games, after games, in between games, and yeah, that's how we keep our rhythm. Trust each other.
All right. Well, great job tonight. Congratulations. I have a couple questions for Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. So first off, what can you say about your MVP's performance? We just spoke with her. She seemed pretty happy to see the team get a win. What can you say about what she was able to do tonight?
Well, Jyla is probably one of the more underrated players in the city. Probably one of the most improved players in the city. This is a kid that started off with our JV program and has worked on her game over the years. And on top of that, just really is a selfless player. As you can see, she likes to facilitate, but she could also start scoring on her own now.
And when we talked at halftime, you said that the team was not going to get complacent. You're going to continue to play hard, and your team did play well in the second half. What were you guys able to do well, and did you make any adjustments coming out of halftime, or with the big lead, did you just try to continue to do your thing?
As far as adjustments, we tweaked our defense in some minor stuff, but overall, it was the same thing. Just a lot of effort, a lot of making sure you're in the right spots in the rotations, and then we just try to play at our pace the whole time.
And similar to what I asked Jyla, how can the team build off this win? Obviously, with a noticeable win like this, winning by a lot of points, how much does that do for your team's confidence, and how can you keep the momentum going the rest of the season?
In a game like this, again, there are ways that you can improve no matter how the game is going, And there are a lot of things we can take away from games like this, especially, again, defensively, what we can do better. We didn't hit outside shots as much as we normally do, so that's something that we have to address. And, not everything is just, excuse me, not everything is just the scoreboard. So anything that we can do, that we watch on the film, that we can improve on, we will.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. Thanks again.
All right, thank you.
Back to you, Pat.
Leverett, thanks very much. And Coach Bowie, despite the hefty win, hefty lead throughout the game, he did mention how much they can take out of this game. He mentioned how much that the team needs to continue to communicate better on defense. He talked about how they weren't talking very much on defense in the second quarter. He mentioned they need to continue to swing the ball around, which was very impressive actually throughout the game. How well this new mission team's was passing here tonight. So there's a lot they can talk about.
I really think the best one-word description is unselfish in terms of the offense. And like you said, I mean, every coach, I think it's part of being a coach, is that you always believe you can improve on defense. And that's pretty much true, because defense is movement, rebounding, boxing out, the tough stuff that really doesn't go on the stat sheet other than rebounds.
That's right.
If you're willing to do that kind of work, then you can earn a lot of playing time, and obviously you're going to help your team win.
No question. Let's take a look at the final stats from this one before we sign off from New Mission High. There you see the Brighton final stats.
Yeah, Hernandez, we talked about her coming in as a sophomore, their best player overall, most talented player, and even with that bad toe, 18 points. Now, she also had 7 rebounds. Long had 8 points. Perez had 9 rebounds. Long and Hernandez both had an assist. So Brighton totally overmatched here talent-wise, but I like the way they continue to play hard the second, third, and fourth quarters, even though they got off to that really bad start.
Let's take a look at New Mission's final stats.
New Mission spread out, as we were talking about. Green, all her points in the first quarter, because she only played the first quarter. Gonzalez, our outstanding player, gets 9 points. She also had 3 rebounds. Bonilla with 3 rebounds. Gonzalez had 6 assists to go along with her 9 points. And then her sister had 3 assists. So 9 assists between the two Gonzalez sisters to help the Cards offensively for New Mission tonight.
Yeah, New Mission actually had 6 players who had 3 rebounds apiece. So a lot of different players contributing to the rebounding side for the New Mission Titans. When you have a little bit of a lack of height, I think you have to have guards and small forwards contributing to the rebounding department too, and that's what New Mission
Nobody can really just take off. That's why their fast break is so impressive. Even though, like I said, everyone has to stay until you have possession, no one, you can't really sneak off. But you got Green, who runs well. You got Gonzalez, who runs well. A couple other players come off the bench who run well. So you can still run a fast break offense, even though everyone has to stay home and get the defensive rebound first.
No question. So fantastic win here for New Mission. As Alan mentioned, very unselfish team. I'm sure we'll be seeing them down the line and possibly the city playoffs and possibly the state tournament as well. Folks, if you want to watch this game again, you can go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this basketball season. There are only 2 right now, but they'll be up there. You can also watch some of the football games from the fall. You can also follow us on social media. First, you go to our Facebook page. You go to facebook.com/game of the week. A lot of good stuff up on that site, including links to the games and updates on which games we're going to be covering. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. We'll be back with the boys' game next Friday over at Madison Park. It's the Battle of the Complex between O'Brien and Madison. But for right now, we're going to say so long here from New Mission High School in Hyde Park. We'll see you next time here on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.